Hey, I'm Brian from BrianKeaneFitness.com, best-selling author of the book, Rewire Your Mindset. Do you struggle to deal with criticism? Here are 5 ways to help you handle it. Now let's start with the elephant in the room. Not everybody's going to like you. That's okay. If you're someone that struggles to deal with criticism, there's a few things you can do to help you move through it. Number 1, separate constructive criticism from destructive criticism. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my early life was not being able to distinguish the difference between good criticism and bad criticism, or constructive criticism and destructive criticism. Constructive criticism is exactly as it sounds. It's coming from somebody who has good intentions on what you're doing, and they're trying to help you improve by giving you honest feedback on what you're doing. Destructive criticism, on the other hand, is just somebody being a dick, trying to knock you down because they're not happy that you're trying to do the thing you're doing. This happens all the time with people on weight loss journeys, business journeys, or just life in general when everybody's trying to offer their 2 cents on what it is you're doing. So evaluate first where the criticism is coming from. Is it coming from a good place? Is it constructive? Or is it destructive? And then point number 2 pairs very well with this. Don't take advice from somebody you wouldn't switch positions with. So when you're trying to identify whose advice you should listen to, one metric that will get you through 99 out of 100 cases is asking the question, would I switch positions with the person who's offering the advice? If the answer is no, then you kindly disregard their advice. If the answer is yes, then you take it on board. There's a good chance that's constructive criticism. But of course, there's going to be cases where that's not applicable. You're going to have overweight personal trainers who are brilliant at what they do and can't work out because they're injured. You might get relationship advice from somebody who's single, but they're choosing to be that way now because they're not willing to settle or they have other life priorities. So don't lump everybody into this bracket. But in 99 out of 100 cases, there's a good chance that if you're not willing to switch positions with the person offering the advice, you shouldn't take advice from them. This goes for your next door neighbor who's 3 stone overweight offering dietary advice. This goes for the person who's worked for 10 years in a 9-to-5 job offering entrepreneurial advice. And this goes for the majority of people who offer you advice on what you should do with your life, even though you wouldn't switch positions with them. Point number 3, learn to stop caring what people think about you. Now this one's a lot easier than it sounds. If you can remove the attachment and how you feel when people offer their opinions towards you, it's going to go a long way towards you being able to stop caring what people think. But I should add an asterisk here. Some people's opinions do matter on what you do, but you can't give the same equal weight to everybody's opinion. That just doesn't make sense. So what I would recommend is you identify the 5 people whose opinions do matter with what you do. Your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your kids, whoever it is. Whose opinion matters, and then you listen to their advice. You listen to what they have to offer, and you ignore the rest. It's also worth adding that caring what people think about you is a learned behavior. You didn't care what people thought about you when you were 3 years old. You probably didn't care what people thought about you when you were 4 or 5 years old, but you do when you're 25, 35, or 45. That means you learned the behavior, which also means you can unlearn it. Number 4, avoid comparison syndrome. When it comes to comparing yourself against other people, a lot of it can come down to comparison mode, or what I call in my book, Rewire Your Mindset, comparison syndrome. Best friend got engaged, your brother or sister got a promotion at work, your dog's 3rd cousin lost a load of weight. It's really easy to get sucked into that comparison mode, and then as soon as somebody goes, well, why are you single? Or why haven't you got that job promotion? Or why haven't you lost weight? Like your cousin's dog. It's easy to get down about that. So stop comparing yourself to others, especially those further ahead in their journey compared to you. Don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. Final point that I touched on at the top of the video, understand that not everybody's going to like you. Let's call a spade a spade. If you want everybody to like you, say nothing, be nothing, do nothing, and maybe buy an ice cream truck and give away free ice cream. But inevitably, you're going to have some person out there who hates ice cream and as a result dislikes you because you're giving away free ice cream. Which makes me think that you may as well do the thing you want to do anyways, because people are going to have an opinion regardless. Not everybody's going to like you, and that's fine. My mother used to always tell me that you're not everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey. Be somebody's shot of whiskey. So there you have it, 5 ways to deal with criticism. Hopefully you got a lot of value from this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for videos coming each and every week.